Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion. Welcome back to the home of fantasy sports for Game Week 20 FPL preview show. All right, so let's get straight into it. So, of course, last week was Game Week 19, and we used our wildcard chip and we produced 76 points. I'll take that, not too bad at all. We had 6 points, Cells, 12 points, Hall. So, Hall was a great shout to bring in there. 32 points from our captain, Salah, Gordon, 6 points. Up top, 7 with Isak, 5 with Gakpo, Cunha, 1 point. And on the bench, I guess the only two names to cry for would have been Greaves and Ilanga. We would not have predicted, we would not have predicted Ipswich getting a clean sheet against Chelsea. So, and Ilanga, was a gamble between him and Sa. I guess Ilanga was the better shout. Nottingham Forest are in great form right now. But we move. All right, so let's take a look now at what potentially we should or try to fix in this team. So, of course, Cunha is flagged as the first thing that we see here. So, suspended until the 15th of Jan. So, for me, I'll just do a straight, just put him on here, put him last, change the order, and I'll leave that just like that. I don't think I'll fuss too much to, go getting a transfer. Cunha is a great asset to have, and I don't mind holding on to him. Keep put any longer. He has been doing his thing. Funny enough, playing against Wolves. So, and the form that Nottingham Forest is in right now, you won't put it against them to defeat Wolves or roll over Wolves, especially now with no Cunha. So that should be interesting. I am happy with my backline. Kirkers against Everton. Hall versus Spurs and Gabriel versus Brighton. Of course, that is going to be a tricky game for Arsenal. Salah playing Man U at home. Salah playing Chelsea at home. Palmer playing Palace. Gordon, Ilanga. Great with that so far. Isak and Gakpo up top. So I'm good with that. Keepers, yeah. Sells over Pickford. Sells is in the best form right now of his life. So let's just take a look at some of the fixtures for Game Week 20, and we'll just, I'll just suggest a few assets that I think are the best or looking really good so far in really good form. So Spurs, Newcastle. Obviously, the best option to go with right now will be Isak. Isak has been in top form, solid. He produced last game week. So let's take a quick look at what Isak would have done last week. Last game week, I should say. So he had 1 goal against Man U. So and Joelinton as well has been popping up. Lewis Hall assisted. So assisted and clean sheet. So that's why he bagged 12 points. So solid from him. So going back to this particular matchup, not bad at all. You can't go wrong. Leicester Villa is a decent game. Watkins in a bit of form. He has been out of favor, but Rodgers is the man right now. I did not have him as an FPL asset going into this season, but he has been very solid. So definitely someone to look at. Bournemouth, Everton. That's a tough one to call. Right now, Everton have been in decentish form, keeping cliches, getting draws here and there, doing their thing. But Bournemouth is Bournemouth. Even Newson, Utara, Semenyo. These guys have been putting in really good shifts lately. Palace, Chelsea. Mateta comes to mind. He could probably bully that Chelsea defense. We saw what Delap did to Chelsea's defense, so far less from Mateta. He should be a very sticky opponent or very tough customer to handle for Chelsea, because as I said before, we know what that Delap did and what Delap, the havoc that Delap produced or wreaked, I should say. So far less from Mateta. Chelsea, of course, have Palmer, but Palmer has been hot and cold. He was nowhere to be seen in the Ipswich game. I mean, he did try, he did put in some good efforts, but he did not step up and save Chelsea against Ipswich. Just reminding you guys, Ipswich. Moving on, City, West Ham. Of course, Haaland finally produced something and for a very long time he has been on a duck, a nice roasty duck. So he finally broke the duck, scored a goal. And City have a decent, on paper, a decent run of games. Now they have to play West Ham. You favor them at home against West Ham. West Ham has been very up and down, very up and down. But it's just like West Ham to go into a game like this and possibly produce a great game and get a win. But City should come out on top. Of course, if you have Haaland, you get Haaland. Of course, Haaland would have been a good option to have last week. He scored one goal, but he did not obviously outscore Salah. He would have just been on par with Isak, I believe. So not too bad there. And yeah, I mean, let's see who else produced for City. So City would have won 2-0. Yeah, Savio. Savio's not a bad shout. Cheaper option too, I guess. So if Pep is going with this and playing Savio as well, I think that's a better option to me than Haaland. If you're feeling like you're missing out on City points, Savio might be the better shout, I believe. So that one I will more encourage. But of course, once Haaland bags and other people don't have him and you have him, that will be great, a great points mover for you, obviously. Southampton, Brentford. Well, we saw what Arsenal did to Brentford recently. Southampton could do something. Southampton scoring goals, they're producing, but they're not getting the wins, right? They're scoring goals. Devlin is back in form. Armstrong assistant. So we saw what they could do, but it's just that they are not getting the wins, not getting over the line. Brentford should have enough firepower. They are missing a few assets, a few people, but they have most of their main cast. Their main cast, they have Bremo still, Wisa still, so this should cause some trouble. But Southampton at home and Brentford just losing to Arsenal, it should bode well. Should bode well. But I mean, you can't go with Bremo, Wisa. Dublin is a good cheap option, a good budget option, and he's producing, so you can't go wrong with that. Brighton, Arsenal, big game for Arsenal. Brighton, again, I started out the season very well, but a bit up and down, up and down, up and down. Their main guys, Mitoma, Edingra, let's see what they did last time. So they drew, right? Lamptey was on the score sheet. Joe Pedro assisted twice. So again, not bad options there. Lamptey, if you're looking for a fullback and getting output, not bad at all. Definitely not a bad shout at all. So someone to look at there. You also you have the Arsenal camp. Jesus has been consistent. We know that Harvest was ill. Timber is out. So for those who have Timber, be careful with that. Timber is out injured. So suspended. So he'll miss this game. Kai Havertz should be back though. Should. I think it was just some illness, so he should be okay. But if he's out, most likely the top three, the front three, would be Wanyeri, Jesus, Martinelli. But I can see Trossard starting this game. So it might be a Trossard, Jesus, Martinelli, and then they'll bring on Wanyeri. Of course, you have Odegaard in the middle, but Odegaard has not been too hot, but always a good option. I can't recommend Partey and these guys, but Partey again, getting assists, doing well. If you play Fantrax, as I always like to mention, show Fantrax, those are good Fantrax options. Those guys are solid. Fulham versus Ipswich. Well, Ipswich coattails will be up right after defeating Chelsea. Fulham, of course, in great form, playing really well. Should have more, but this game could be an end-to-end. I can see Ipswich doing something. Of course, Delap, their main killer, their main front man up top, back in form, so he should be the one that's wreaking some kind of havoc. Fulham drew 2-2 with Bournemouth the other day. Raul Jimenez, Wilson. Now, Wilson is Mr. Come off the bench and score. Solid. Obviously, we always feel better when these guys start, but Wilson has been solid last few games. You have Robinson and Andreas on the assist sheet, so not bad options at all from Fulham. Moving on now, the big game of the weekend. We have Liverpool versus Manchester United. That's a very big game. On paper, Liverpool should win 8-0. But games are not won on paper. And the last time that we people predicted Liverpool would deal with Man U as a draw, right? But Liverpool are in great form. Man U are in terrible form right now. It is at Anfield, it's at the Cup, so you know it's a different beast when you go face Liverpool. Generally don't know. But the assets, obviously, Gakpo. Gakpo is a solid shout. Gakpo has been in great form, doing well. Trent performing, doing well. And of course, obviously, you can't go wrong with Captain Fantastic Salah. Salah is in the form of his life. He's on par to break a lot of Premier League records, assist records, goal scoring records within a season. And we're only in January, and he is on course to break a lot of records. So Salah obviously is the main man. Luis Diaz picking up a bit of form recently too. Jota coming off the bench doing his thing. But I guess for main starters, Gakpo, Trent, Salah, those are the main guys. United, who am I convinced by? No one. No one. Only Ahmad, but again, Ahmad minutes are fluctuated or managed. He's not getting the game time, consistent game time. But Ahmad is solid. Maswari was a solid guy, but not seeing much of him anymore. He's dipped a bit. Bruno should be back, I think, for this game. Should be back. But I don't know. I really don't know who I could confidently recommend from Man U right now. Wolves play Nottingham Forest. Now, based on the form of Nottingham Forest, they are in the top three right now, doing well. Ilanga, Wood, right? Gibbs White, these guys are putting in cells. Great goalkeeping from cells. Good goalkeeping shout if you need a goalkeeper. Wolves and also, they're playing around with relegation, but getting some decent results here and there. And no Cunha. So I think Wang Yichan came back from his fitness just in time, from his injury, just in time. So you have Wang Yichang, Strand, Larson, Gomez. These guys can still put in a shift, still cause trouble. But Nottingham Forest may have enough firepower, too much firepower. But Molyneux, tricky place at times. But I can't see anything else but a Nottingham Forest win. Chris Wood, good shout. As I said, Ilanga, great shout. Gibbs Wise, good shout. Aina. Sells, great assets from Nottingham Forest. So Nottingham Forest, I tip them to win, and they have the best. They're in the best form right now, the best form of their lives right now, playing really well. Can it be sustained? We don't know, but we wait to see if they can sustain this throughout the season. Guys, thanks for those who are watching. So I want to thank you guys so far. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more. All right. So, of course, we have to discuss our captain shouts, right? So, game week, it's game week 20. Who are the best captains for this game week? I think this week, there's a really good shout for one person. Right now, it has to be Isak. I think Isak. There's a great shout for Isak being captain. Great form. Playing against Spurs, whose defense is not too hot. But I did hear through the grapevine that they may have a few players back. Van der Ven, Van der Ven and this other centre back. He lose he's from Argentina. Solid. I'm not too sure if they'll slot right back into the team, but they should be back. So that's something but again, Tottenham play a high line and Newcastle will know how to defend that. What I've seen them do, if they go up 2-0 or whatnot, low block and just have Isak isolated up, causing trouble. So I feel they'll just do the same thing, catch Spurs on the counter, score a couple goals, and then lock up shop and just have Isak isolated, picking up his scraps and lumping up the ball to him. But Isak, to me, is a great shout for captain this particular game week. Obviously, the best shout right now will be Mohamed Salah. Obviously, cannot go wrong with Salah in the form of his life. Look at those numbers: 16, 9, 21, 5, 18, 13, 13, 14, 9, 10, 3. His worst game was two bad games: game week 7 against Palace and game week 4 against Forest when they lost. But other than that, he has been in rip-roaring form, and Liverpool have been undefeated since game week 4. Wow. Right. So definitely, I think Mohamed Salah is one of the best captain shouts. Another option, another shout, Gordon. Gordon is not a bad shout as well. Decent form, 6'10", 6'6", 185. Not bad at all. Decent form. Coming up trumps for his team, doing well. So I think he's another great shout. Differentials to look out for. Now again, if you have Cunha, Wang Yi-chan has recently popped up doing his thing. So I think you can't go wrong with someone like Wang Yi-chan or Strand Lassen, right? So pick up Wang Yi-chan. He has been out for a while, but back in the fray, 7 points and 6 points recently. So mightn't be a bad shout for differentials if you're just looking for someone in and around just to do something. Delap, not a bad shout as well for this upcoming game week. Savio, I think. Savio, if you're feeling like, okay, I'm missing out on you City points, I need someone, they have a decent run of games, and you're not feeling the Haaland, I think Savio is a good shot. I'm very tempted to bring him in for Cunha, very tempted, but I think I'll stay with this for now. But he's not a bad shot. I'm willing to take a little punt on him and bring him in. But yeah, as I said, so captain shouts, we dealt with differentials. Best goalkeeper right now is Sells. Can't go wrong with that. Defenders. So, of course, based on the fixtures coming up, Lewis Hall can't go wrong, but I'm very solid defensively, right? I think those are some of the key guys you could think about. Trent is providing it, right? He's getting attacking returns. He's providing as well, so you can't go wrong with that, right? Some of the key assets. Aid Nori mightn't be a bad shout. Again, yes, no Cunha, but Wang Yi-chan timing and return couldn't be better, couldn't be any more perfect. So he might be a solid person to consider, right? Definitely someone to consider. Wild shout. Joe Linton mightn't be a wild shout in terms of a differential. He has been popping up, has been doing this thing. I know he's not the first name on everyone's lips, but mightn't be a bad shout. Even Dan Burn, as usual, could pop up with the odd goal here and there. Raul Jimenez is a great differential shout as well, popping up well for Fulham, doing his thing. Can't go wrong with Evan Nilsson. If you don't have Evan Nilsson by now, he has been very solid. So yeah, I think those are some of the key guys that we could consider and look at. As I mentioned before, Aina from Nottingham Forest, very solid. And yeah, I think you can't go wrong. I know some people might be looking at João Pedro, but when you have guys like Gakpo, Isak performing, maybe you might need a João Pedro. But again, he's not a bad shout. He has been doing his thing, has been performing. Hopefully, he doesn't perform this game week because, of course, he's playing Arsenal. All right. Yeah. So don't forget, deadline is this Saturday. Pay attention to your deadlines. On this side of the world, it's 7 a.m. Opening game is Spurs Newcastle 8:30 kickoff on this side of the world. So please do not forget. Don't lapse. Pay attention to your deadlines. Try and get your transfers in, or at least tinker, adjust, play, put your formations, check who's injured, check who's not, who may be suspended. Look out for your suspended players. Check the list as well for those on yellow cards. That helps. All right, guys. Yeah, I think that's the best I could do right now. Game week 20 preview show. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And please click the save button. You tinkered on your team. Please don't forget to click that save button, guys. It is imperative. It is paramount. It is very important. All right. Again, I'll just recap. I think Isak is a great captain shout. Of course, you can't go wrong with Salah. It's a safe one, Salah, especially facing Manu. But those kind of games, it could be a very high scoring, embarrassing result in favor of Liverpool, or it could just be a dead 0-0. So let's see what Amarim can do, how we can set up this United team for that big test against Liverpool. All right, guys. Well, as usual, may a captain score a hat trick, may a keeper keep a clean sheet, and may ours be green. See you in the next one. Take care. Happy picking.